Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. CFC DP here with a midweek Chelsea update. We do have a match preview coming against Leicester. You should have that within the next 24 hours, but there's been a lot of news that's happened on Thursday, so let's get into it right now. It's everybody's favorite time of the year. The UEFA Champions League is coming back around for Chelsea, and they were probably one of the English teams that were in probably the happiest about their draw. Them and Tottenham probably right in the same booth. AC Milan, RB Salzburg, and Dynamo Zagreb. Chelsea kind of walk out of the draw with a pretty favorable outlook. Now, Red Bull Salzburg is a dangerous third team, and Dynamo Zagreb absolutely can play on any certain day. But I think Chelsea would rate themselves to get through the group stage and make it to the knockout round. I think winning the group will be important. However, that match against AC Milan is going to be really box office. I mean, Chelsea haven't played AC Milan since 1999. Dennis Wise's famous goal, and it was sort of the kickoff, if you will, of Chelsea kind of European dreams and European nights in that game. It's such a standout performance in our head. So Chelsea, I think, are going to be okay when it comes to the group stage. I think the away games at Salzburg and Dynamo are going to be huge. You're going to have to get 6 points from those. And if you do, and maybe you go to the San Siro and work out a draw, I think you're going to be winning the group, or at very least getting to the knockout stages. Just looking at a couple of the other groups of note, I think Group A is going to be the most fun group of the tournament. You have a lot of big European giants, if you will, in that group. Fans that are just absolutely ruckus. Should be great environment. I'm pulling for Rangers myself to get to the next round because we saw what their fans were able to do and how excited they were once they got to the Europa League final last year. Unfortunately, lost on penalties, but that will definitely be a group to watch, as well as Group C, a lot of top-tier talent, Bayern, Barcelona, and Inter Milan. So we'll see who gets out of these groups, but in terms of Chelsea, I think we are in a pretty good space. It could have been much worse. It probably could have been a little bit better, but nevertheless, I think this is a group Chelsea would rate themselves to get out of, and if they are good enough to make a run in the tournament, which Chelsea is a great tournament club, they should be able to navigate through this group pretty well. So that was kind of the beginning of the day. As the day progressed, we got more into transfer news, so let's get that to you right now. So this afternoon, Wesley Fofana's deal was kind of in a bit of turmoil. Leicester had rejected the £70 million offer, including add-ons. It appears that Chelsea is willing to bump it up to 75. They want to get the deal done. I think Leicester wants to get the deal done too. The player certainly wants to get the deal done. It's just a matter of meeting Leicester, and I think Leicester are kind of at a point where they hold the cards. They don't want Fofana to play against them this weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. If he comes in late tomorrow and the deal's agreed upon, I think all will be well. Chelsea, he won't play against Leicester, and then the wheels can start turning. So I would expect you'll probably be watching this in the morning on Friday. So around that time, you're going to see Leicester start to heat up with that deal, maybe just some structural items. As Ben Jacobs had mentioned, were kind of the holdup. So if Chelsea can move some of those add-ons into actual fee, I think that'll get it over the line. But it all depends on the structure, because right now Leicester say, I don't know, we don't have to sell the player. I mean, he's training with the U23s, U21, so if they really weren't going to sell him, he would be playing, but he wants to move. And nothing worse than an unhappy player on your team. So the Fofana deal should be moving faster after this Leicester game is over. I would expect him to be in by the end of the weekend, perhaps even the beginning of next week at the latest. So that's it for Wesley Fofana. Now let's check up with Pierre Emmerick Aubameyang. So there's been some conflicting reports on Aubameyang and where he is kind of at in terms of I think that Aubameyang, and it was reported by Fabrizio Romano and some other news outlets, that personal terms are no problem with Chelsea. That has been sorted. Barcelona at this point are trying to scrape out every last dollar that they can. They need to sell the player to register Jules Koundé, and I think Barcelona's at the point where we know we're going to get rid of him. He played his farewell game in the friendly against Manchester City. Xavi said, let's go get him out there. He scored a goal. Great. So we'll see. I think this is going to be on a similar trajectory to Fofana. I think Barcelona need to move quicker, though, to register Koundé before the upcoming match at the weekend. So it is a progressing and fluid thing at the moment. The player and the club are agreed upon with the deal. So we'll see how it breaks down over the next 24 to 48 hours. It appears that the deal is inching closer and closer. There were some sources from Football London that suggested that it was almost done. I think it's probably about that point. It's probably 95% done. I think it's just a little bit of the add-ons. But the big thing about the personal terms is that the deal is 2 years guaranteed and a 1-year option after that. So that actually protects Chelsea and Aubameyang very well because it's short term. Aubameyang is probably 2 more years, probably at Premier League level, and then he can go get a big payday in MLS or, one of the other countries that pay a lot, China perhaps or something like that. And it gives Chelsea the ability to still go after a Christopher Nkunku next window, who they are linked to. Him and Liao are 2 options that the Telegraph has reported that Chelsea are interested in and are going after this year and next year. The seeds are being planted for both transfers. So that is exciting because Aubameyang's deal really helps the future of Chelsea in that striker attacking forward role. So like I said, 24, 48 hours, I think this deal should be progressing to the point where he is a Chelsea player. He obviously won't be playing this weekend unless the deal gets done early tomorrow morning. That would be Friday morning, but I don't see that happening, so I would probably look towards the next week. But we do have a short week. We play on Tuesday against Southampton, so it is a quick turnaround. So a Fofana coming in and an Aubameyang coming in, it could be really helpful because we are a little bit injured and we do need a little bit more squad rotation. So those are 2 guys that we've heard about, we know about, we probably think are going to be coming within the 24, 48 hour range. So we'll see how this progresses over the next time. There was a bit of late news, however, this afternoon about a young prospect, and we will get into that for you right now. So Arsen Zakharyan, now I probably butchered that name, so bear with me here, is a 19-year-old young phenom. I personally read about him through Scouted Football. If you have ever heard of Scouted Football, it is one of the best youth publications, if you will. They do a podcast. They have a Patreon. That's fantastic. I couldn't recommend it more. So I read about him probably about 6 months ago, and he is a player that Chelsea are really looking for, and he is a bargain price. The rumor is that Chelsea are going to open up and activate his £12.5 million release clause from Dynamo Moscow. And he is a player that is so creative that people, once the comps started flowing on Twitter, that everyone got a little excited because he is the offensive package that you are looking for Chelsea in terms of distribution, creativity, ability to shoot, and kind of offer you a lot of different things from the top. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that Neil Bath has his fingerprints all over this, and that's kind of been the theme of the summer for Chelsea, is that Neil Bath has stepped up into the conversation. He is highly regarded for youth teams. We've seen the youth teams that he's set up before and the players that he's gone after. So if you start to hear that name kind of swirl around a potential director of football position, don't be surprised, because they have put a lot of trust in him in terms of this youth regeneration and his talent eye. And I think Tuchel trusts him as well. So it is a collaborative effort, Bowley, Tuchel, and Neil Bath. It's a partnership that I think is bringing a lot of young, good talent in. And this is a guy who has played, this will be his 3rd season in the Russian Premier League, which is a league full of men. So physically, he's definitely able to hang in the Premier League, in my opinion. 47 games in Russia's first league, 11 goals and 15 assists. So that's pretty good. Last year he had 18 goal contributions. So we're talking about a player that's a budding superstar. And if Chelsea are able to get him now, you're looking at somebody that could be a factor for this team this year. I mean, don't be afraid to put out a young player if he can help you and he fills a void. So this is somebody that if this progresses quickly, you may start to see pop up on the lineup sheet and you might not know who he is. So I recommend going on Twitter, just search his name. There's going to be a bunch of comps and there's certain plays where you're going to say, wow, I've never seen a Chelsea player make a pass like this. Nobody on our roster could currently. And this is kind of what that kid has in terms of talent. So he is one for the future, but he will be playing with the first team or he will go on a high-level loan if that's kind of the option that they want to go. But I have a feeling he's going to stay because his talent level and his skill set is kind of what we need at this point. So we'll see how it breaks down with Arsen. He is a talented young player, and I'm looking forward to him if he comes in. So I want to thank you for tuning in to this short episode, giving you a little bit of news and notes over the last 24 hours. We're going to be coming out with a Leicester City match preview here also in the next 24 hours. And if any of these deals get done, we will obviously come up with the latest in breaking news for you. I want to thank you very much. If you could like, subscribe, comment, follow, all that good stuff, that would be amazing. If we can get this video to 10 likes, that would be fantastic. So go ahead, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on because we're going to come back, Leicester preview, within the next 24 hours. I want to thank you very much and have a blessed rest of your evening.